Let's see. Let's see. Not working. We're in. Okay. Okay, welcome back to this Sunday night of live streaming. Always technical difficulties, always something new that I have to try to figure out and maneuver around. So thank you for bearing with me. I know I started a little bit late, but we're going to get right into it. We're going to talk about the movies that I watched this week, one that I've forgotten that I've watched the last 2 weeks, and then we're going to look at how the spreadsheet is doing and talk about how the streaming wars are shaping up and what movies are going to be included. I think my video is going off too, but we're going to talk about what movies are going to be included in this streaming service wars and good stuff. So let's get into it. Let's get right into it. Let's go for it. So let's talk about the streaming service wars. All right. So remember the premise of this is that each week I'm going to try to watch every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, I'm going to essentially watch 9 movies from each of the major streaming services. I'm going to compare them against each other using my movie spreadsheet formula, which is 50% for entertainment, 25% for achievement of goal, 20% for ending, and then 5% for length. And then there's also a 10% penalty. And then I'm going to rank those in order each week and then reward points, kind of like F1 style. So first place gets 25 points, which you can see. I should just have this up on the screen so you can see right here, right in the middle of the screen, you can see the point breakdown for each week. So if you're in first place, you get 25 points. And if you're in last place, well, you don't get any points, which is the way that it should be. So we can also talk about other things that I've added to the spreadsheet. So there are 2 things that I really ran into this week. And the first one was with Apple TV. So you can see my amazing graphic over on the right. You can see the streaming cup. All the streaming services, they have F1 cars kind of imaged after them, or mocked up after them, I should say. And then you can see the points next to each of those. So just real quick, here we are right now. After one movie between all of the streaming services, we have in first place Apple TV with 25 points, followed by Amazon Prime with 18 points, followed by Netflix with 15 points, then Hulu in fourth with 12, Disney Plus in fifth with 10, Peacock in sixth with 8, Stars in seventh. That's how numbers work, I guess. Stars in seventh with 6 points, and then HBO in eighth with 4 points, and then finally Paramount ends up getting 1 point, having 1 point because it did finish last because the new Naked Gun movie was not my cup of tea, but it was the shortest movie of the week by far, so it picks up that point for quickest movie. Kind of just like a fun little thing that we're doing. Let's talk about the major problem that I had, and this is going to exist with Apple TV. So Apple TV doesn't put out a lot of movies. And if we're solely judging what these companies produce based on movies or put out on movies, then there should be some form of penalty for stuff not being recent. And so what we're going to see with Apple TV is, besides The Last Bus, which had recently come out. So I think The Last Bus, I don't have the release date, but I know it was at the end of October. Apple TV Last Bus was great in terms of its release. Then Apple TV had to pick first, which is a huge disadvantage because then you essentially have to turn around right away and you have to choose a movie. Sorry, let me turn my focus off and put it on sleep. There we go. You have to turn around and choose a movie right away. So if you're not a service like Netflix, essentially, it becomes really hard to find another movie in that same time frame. It's not specifically just Netflix. It's really a bunch of different services that put out movies consistently. Anyways, so the other thing I've started looking at, so you can see this is my first week or my first movie selection. You can see it up here. You can see the prices over here on the side. What's really interesting is that Disney, ESPN, ABC, YouTube, like these names are kind of all getting mashed together because of what's going on. And us, the consumers, are really, like my wife and I wanted to watch a football game, so we had to pay $10 on the spot to upgrade our service from select to unlimited to be able to get to watch the movie, get to watch the football game. So it's just a pain to figure this all out. All right, let's look at where we are though this week, and I'll tell you some changes that I've made to the streaming grid. So the first change that I made, you can see here, is that I have my watch date, and I'm trying to watch movies no more than 48 hours apart. So I'm trying to watch a movie basically every 2 days. I'm gonna be able to finish 6 movies by the end of this upcoming week. So next Sunday there'll be 6 movies for me to talk about, and we'll have week 2 completely done for the streaming service wars cup, whatever we're calling it. I probably should figure that out. So you have your watch date, and then you're also going to have your release date right here. And that release date's really important. So when you look at that release date for Apple TV this week, I had to choose a movie that was either, I think it's Highest to Lowest, which is the Denzel movie and Spike Lee, or I had to choose All of You. And the reason why I chose All of You was because it simply came out sooner. And I thought, like, this isn't really fair. This movie came out 38 days ago. Like this, there should be some form of penalty for having the next closest movie that you're releasing is 38 days ago. So I came up with this freshness multiplier. All right. And so what that basically means is if your movie is released within 2 weeks of when I watch it, you get a full point, like nothing is affected. And then if it's like, I think I said, if it's like between that 15 to 20 day mark, it's 0.98. So 0.02% penalty. And then 25 days is another penalty. And then anything longer than 30 days is like a 0.15 or a 15% penalty. Which I feel like makes it kind of fun. The other thing that we're looking at here, or not makes it fun, makes it more fair. The other thing I'm looking at here are some more bonuses. And this is where, like, if you're my person out there, if you're watching this and you're like, I really don't like the bonus feature, or I want to have different bonuses, man, like absolutely comment. I would love to have somebody tell me essentially like, hey, I think this should be a bonus, but here are the bonuses that I've come up with, and I'll tell you the points behind it. So the first one is that if you convert pole position to a win, it's worth 5 points. So I up that reward. What this means is, like, because Apple TV had to pick first this week, if I pick first and they win the week, then they'll get an additional 5 points, because converting that poll is really huge. And I think Netflix is going to have an opportunity at that this upcoming week because of the movie I watched, which we'll talk about, Ballad of a Small Player, and then Frankenstein having just been released. That's a great 1-2 potential combo to score high and pick up that additional 5 points. All right, so then fastest lap, I increased the reward to 2 points. And all this is starting essentially this week, so no ex post facto. Best moment, so best moment from a movie. So if I was like, oh, this is a movie that made me think about this thing over and over again, that is the one that I'll have in there. And then I'm also got a notable song, kind of just light. Sometimes I watch a movie and there's like an awesome song, and I'm like, that song was awesome, or the soundtrack was awesome. There's 3 songs in there. So you'll get a bonus point if you have a song that makes me listen to it after the movie is over, which one of the movies did. Best laugh, so which movie gave me like the best chuckle. Plot twist, like, is there a plot twist in the film? If there is a plot twist, 2 points. Or I might make this one just in general, like, hey, there's a best plot twist of the week goes to this movie. Driver of the day, which is like best performance by an actor, which I think right now is like easily Colin Farrell. And then finally, like, does it have an emotional impact on me? And is this movie a potential hidden gem? So these are all the ways that you can get bonus points. These bonus points are then added into that final score. So for here, you see my movie spreadsheet score right here. And then the movie spreadsheet score factors then into the placement, and then you have your final score based on the points that are being awarded to it. So a lot of complicated things to make this thing even more complicated, but I assure you it's going to make it for fun viewing eventually. Maybe not right now, as I'm still trying to figure this all out on here. So okay, I think that's where we're gonna leave it right here. Let's talk about some movies. Yeah, let's get right into it. Let's talk about the first movie. So let's talk about All of You. So like I said, with Apple TV, I had to make a choice between Highest to Lowest and All of You. I am a big fan of Brett Goldstein. I like him in Ted Lasso. I think I like him in Shrinking. So I'm a fan of his. I was excited about this one. It's sci-fi romance, which let me tell you, I love sci-fi romance. I know it's like a weird thing to really like, but About Time is legitimately one of my favorite movies, and I haven't watched it. I haven't added it to the spreadsheet, so I need to rewatch it and add it to the spreadsheet. I love a movie. It's like one of like 3 movies that ever makes me cry like consistently. Every time I watch About Time, I'm gonna cry, and it's like, do I feel like crying? Like the Mariners have already broken my heart. Like, I don't feel like I'm shedding any more tears. So I will watch About Time. I will add it to the spreadsheet, and then you'll ultimately see like how much I like it, because it's gonna be really high up there. So all of you, and again, all of this is spoiler free, so I'm not gonna ruin any of these movies. Again, like my whole idea is, where is there value with our dollar for the streaming services, right? Like as all of these prices are increasing, as like a person who just loves movies and ultimately knows nothing about them. So I don't want you to think like, oh, he went to film school or anything. Nope, not true. Did not. I like movies. I don't interpret them. I just watch them. And you know, if they're entertaining, they score high. If they do what they're supposed to do, they score high. And if not, they don't. So let's talk about all of you. Spoiler free. Now, all of you is about Brett Goldstein and Imogen, whatever her last name is. But essentially it's about these two. It's like a love story, and it takes place in the future. Now, let me tell you, that's the end of the sci-fi element to this. Well, there's like one more little sci-fi element, and it's revealed in the first like 20 seconds. So I'm not going to spoil this one for you. It's just simply like, in the future, you can go to a place and it's going to tell you who your true soulmate is. So like, that's it. Like that's all the sci-fi that exists in this movie, which I feel like is just absolute cop out. Okay, so you find out who your true soulmate is. All right, cool. I mean, and then like you can guess what probably unfolds between these two. I'm gonna assume that you haven't seen the trailer, because I'm so anti-trailer that I don't want to be like, well, this is in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling it. No, if you avoid trailers just like I do, then I don't want to ruin it. Like, basically, it's about these two, and that's it. So, where did this one go wrong for me? Let me pull it up on the spreadsheet right here. Let's go to the movie spreadsheet. Let's go ahead and find all of you on the spreadsheet. All right, so we can see, I'll put it right here on the screen so you can kind of see the movies that are around it. You can see it highlighted. All right, so overall score, 3.25. Again, I have a short for this one, but I'm like flying at it. And sometimes I feel like my shorts are like too negative. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to help you save time, right? Like, I hate wasting time, and I love watching movies. And obviously, if you can watch all these movies that I can, do it, right? Do it. Join the chat. We can have conversations live. It'd be amazing. All right, so all of you, 335 on the spreadsheet at a 407, 3.25 overall score. This is a really bad movie. Because really, one is saying this is a really bad movie too harsh. This is a movie that I would generally not recommend to anybody, I think, because it's driven by banter, right? It's driven by the two main characters and the like dark, like inappropriate humor, right? And like, I love that. That's great. That's exactly how I am. I say like horrendous things, but there has to be other things occurring in the movie to drive the plot forward, to like make it entertaining to watch. And it's like not a really long movie, and it's like really, really boring. It's really, really slow. This is not my favorite movie. It just doesn't have a lot of that momentum carrying it forward. Now, achievement of goal. Again, like, you're going to advertise that it's sci-fi. So like, I need to have more sci-fi than just the fact that it's in the future. I don't really think that counts. And then like the romance, this is what I said on my short. The romance is so weird to me. Like, if a movie is about love and like finding your true soulmate, then I think the way that it was portrayed in this movie like really cheapens it. Because if it's about an affair, then it should feel like steamy, right? And that's what I said on my show. I said like it should feel like Unfaithful, right? Unfaithful is the best movie about an affair because of it's steamy. That's how the movie is. This movie is just in this weird middle ground, and they're like, it's all just driven by banter. Ending, this is one of those movies where you're just like, what? Like, I committed my time. I watched the movie for like an hour and a half, or I have an exact time for it right here. What's the exact time for it? I watched a movie for an hour and 35 minutes and 54 seconds. And I should note that like when I watch the movie, as soon as the movie's over, as soon as the first name comes up, boom, I hit pause and I write down what's at the bottom. And if there's like a big start, then I like do the math. I'm trying to get precise because I know some of these movies are going to be close. And it happens. And you're like, what? Like I invested an hour and 35 minutes. And what I got were two characters talking shit to each other, saying horrible things, right? And it's like, oh, it's not PC. And then the movie just kind of like ends like, what? And so this was one that I really had higher hopes for, but I chose it because it came out more recently and it was shorter. So that's where we are for all of you. So it ends up here. You can kind of see some movies that are around it. Like if you're like, wow, Dune Part 2 is actually lower than all of you. Yeah, I mean, this is probably one I need to rewatch and re-examine, but yeah, I'm okay where all of you falls on the spreadsheet. This is a movie that I probably will never think about again. This is a movie that will have no emotional impact on me, and this is a movie that, yeah, I won't ever watch again. So, kind of harsh there for all of you. But let's go to the next movie, which is going to be Watch the Skies for Aliens. Look, let me just get right into this because I have like some fairly blunt talks about this movie. One, you have that line at the top that says a slam dunk for fans of J.J. Abrams and early Steven Spielberg. Okay, early Steven Spielberg paints like such a picture to me. So you're like, okay, like we're thinking like E.T., we're thinking things like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, we're thinking all of these great things. This movie ends up with the score that it has. Let me go to it on the spreadsheet because it doesn't deliver on that. Let's go to Watch the Skies. So you can see, and this is kind of sad. Anything that's like in pink, this is everything that I've rated recently. So this is a lot of pink. Like I only have like 67 videos on YouTube. So like there's a lot of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right here. So 6 movies that I've rated are like fall in between this sub 2.8. Now look, remember, anything less than 1 is horrible. Anything 2, 3, or 4 I consider bad. Is it like 2 like pretty like really bad, and 3 is just bad, and 4 is like it's like badish, but it's not okay. 4, 5, and 6 is okay. 7, 8, 9 is good, and then 10 is great. So just because a movie gets like a 4 is like a low okay. So be thinking about the spreadsheet in terms of those contexts. I don't want to be like, wow, this is horrible, he's just hating on movies. No, like a 5 is like an average score. It's like an okay movie. Whereas a 5 for like class, you'd be like, you get a 50% in school, you'd be like, wow, I just bombed that test, I got an F on it. For the spreadsheet, that's not how it works out. So Watch this, guys. One, I love the cinematography. I love the way that it's shot. I love everything about it. I love the time period it's set in. I love the soundtrack. It picks up points for the soundtrack because they play Forever Young, Alphaville. It's awesome. I'm like, yes, let me download that, get that going. So big fan of that. It just doesn't deliver on like you see your image right there for the trailer. Like she's like looking up in the stars, like watch the skies. Like, then if you read the tagline for it, you're like, okay, this is going to be solid. Now, where I'm really proud of myself is that like this is the movie that I chose instead of there was another movie on Amazon Prime that was a little bit more recent. I think it's like Maintenance Required, which gets like horrible reviews. It's like a cheesy rom-com, which I'm all for, but this one gets really bad reviews and kind of looks a little bit strange. Or not for me. I shouldn't say strange. I'm still going to watch it. But Watch This Guy is the one I chose, and I just had really high hopes for it. It didn't deliver. So let's talk about it. Entertainment, it was slow. And the movie is long too. So like it only gets a 3 for length because it's long. But entertainment wise, it's really slow. You're just like what is happening? Like what is going to happen in this movie? Like where are they going to go from here? And you're telling me to watch the skies. So like, are you going to deliver on that premise of watching the skies? And for me, I think the answer, like you can tell by my score, was like, no, you didn't do it as good of a job as you could have. So you have a 2 for entertainment, because this movie is pretty bad for entertainment. Achievement of goal, 3. Like this is not like I wanted this movie to so badly be like a new classic sci-fi alien movie. It's not at all. Again, like I said, harsh words for all of you. This is a movie that I won't think about. This is a movie I think is probably over my head. Maybe if I had some understanding of, I don't know, things that occur in our universe, I might be like, okay, like this one falls exactly where I want it to fall, and delivers on it. Ending wise, no, because the longer we get into this movie, because it's an hour and 52 minutes, the longer we get into this movie, the more you're like, this ending needs to deliver. Like if we have a slow overall movie, the ending has to deliver. That's at least like the whole point of my spreadsheet, or for me, my scores. Like a solid ending can essentially save a movie from like a bad achievement, a goal, or like a slower entertainment score. That's why the percentages are the way they are. And this one just doesn't do it. And it pains me to say, like, I probably wouldn't recommend this to anybody. If you're like really into space, like you're going to watch this one. Like sure, take a shot at it. It's Swedish. It's produced in Sweden. I think it came out in Sweden like 2023, but it's on Amazon in 2025, like fully like dubbed. I don't know if it's dubbed. It's just an English version of it. The big note that I had is that this one felt like the first two parts of like a 6-part miniseries or like an 8-part miniseries, where you're like, okay, now I wonder what next episode has for it. And it just, there's nothing beyond it. It just feels like the way that it ends in the cliffhanger is just so light and doesn't really carry it on to the next through the end. So this one is one that I would probably pass on. Overall score 2.5, number 366 on the spreadsheet. So really bad from the top two. Like the fact that these two are gonna turn around and flip around. We could have a huge congestion in the middle. What maybe like a 30 average score would be kind of crazy. A lot of movies around there, especially with some of these later ones. Like HBO is going to have a selection at the 8 spot. So really interesting to see how that one turns out. But that is Watch This, guys. Let me go to my final movie that I watched this week, which is Ballad of a Small Player. Okay. And let me pull it up on the spreadsheet as well so we can see where it stands. And this is my this is one of 2 movies on the spreadsheet with Ballad in it. All right. So here we go. Ballad of a Small Player. So we can see Ballad of a Small Player, 151 on the spreadsheet, 7.20 overall, which means this is a good movie. Should I start with the positive or should I start with the negative? I feel like I've been pretty negative, but let's go ahead and start with the positive. Let's start with the negative first. The card game is stupid. I'm just going to say that. The card game that they play is stupid. It's glorified war, right? It's like the whole premise of it is that you're dealt 2 cards and another person is dealt 2 cards. And if your 2 cards add up to 9, then you essentially like win. It's like getting 21 in blackjack. And then aces are worth like 1, and if face cards are basically like bust. And that's it. There's no strategy. Like you're dealt 2 cards, you see what they are, and then you lay them out. And they try to build tension around that. But like the tension is like, it doesn't matter what you do. Like it doesn't even matter if you look at your cards ahead of time or after. It doesn't matter. I mean, maybe it does, but like in the game, what they show you, it doesn't matter. So if you're expecting a movie like Rounders or like Maverick or any decent card game movie, this movie, you should not go into it expecting like just amazing card game scenes. This is not a movie that I will think about for the card game. This is a movie that I'll think about though. So let's break down the scores. So 151, 7.2 overall. I talked about this being a really good score. Big fan of this movie, and I'm really glad that I made the choice that I did. I almost delayed watching something from Netflix to wait for Frankenstein to come out to then watch Frankenstein. And Ballad of a Small Player would have slipped off my radar. I would have watched it at a later point, but I'm really glad I did Ballad of a Small Player first. And then now this is going to set up really well for watching Frankenstein, with this one scoring a 7.2. So 7.2 would have won last week on the movie spreadsheet, would have won last week in the streaming grid. I mean, it would have beat Play Dirty it would have beat The Lost Bus by almost half a point. That's a phenomenal score. So let's talk about the rest of it. So entertainment, 7 out of 10, low good, right? This one has a point in the middle where it kind of drags a little bit, but also like in terms of the card game, it's like a superficial. How do I put it? Sorry, I got a little cold too. The card game like has like this like you can tell they're trying to build suspense, but there is no suspense. Like the card games aren't suspenseful. It's like everything else that's suspenseful about this movie, and I enjoy it. Like I really enjoy it. I would recommend this to. Well, I mean, if you like Colin Farrell, this movie's absolutely for you. I think Colin Farrell's had like a wonderful rebirth in his career after Banshees and some of the stuff before it. Like this one is really a good movie, and Colin Farrell is excellent in it. Tilda Swinton's awesome in it too. So yes. All right, so entertainment score 7, achievement and goal score 6. Okay, achievement and goal score is low here because like look at the poster. Nope, look at the poster right here. Right, we got Colin Farrell up here, stack of chips, looking at his cards. Like, and that is quite literally the scene you're gonna see a lot in this movie is him peeking under, looking at his cards, like, and like slowly peeking at him. And the sound of it is so good. And the way they zoom in on the card is like crinkling, and his glove is like you can hear the leather like it's a really beautiful sound. It's really excellently done. But it's not a card movie, right? Like when I watch Rounders, I'm like, oh my god, like where's my deck of cards? Like here's my deck of cards. Like let's go play. And what I actually did was, before I watched this movie, I found my deck of cards because I knew I was like, you're gonna watch this movie about playing cards, and you're gonna want to play cards. So go get your deck of cards. And look, this deck of cards, completely untouched. I don't want to play cards at all because it's not about cards. Maverick has some great poker scenes. This it's not like that, but it's still worth watching. So achievement goal score is low here because it's advertised as being poker or advertised as being a card, but it's not. And the movie Ballad of a Small Player, like just the name of it. Okay. Sorry. Ending 8.5. Yes. Stick around for this ending, right? Like, even if this isn't a movie that you're into, you're kind of like, I don't know if I'm feeling it, right? Like, finish the movie. The ending is worth it. Like, stick around for this ending. This is an ending that I will think about. This is solid. Length. Very, very short. Length 136:10. Extremely short. So love the shortness of this movie. 136:10. You can put it on, get it done with. I think Frankenstein's a lot longer too. And no penalty. All right, quick little water break. Okay. Let's now look at, since I've covered all those, let's look at the streaming grid. All right, here's where we are. We've got, I'm going to cut this one short here. It's going to be my shortest live stream because of the talking situation. All right, so we've got All of You Watch the Skies, Battle of a Small Player. They all enter the spreadsheet. Apple TV, Prime, and Netflix. I'm so sorry, excuse me. All of You is the oldest at 38 days, so it's going to have the maximum penalty. Then you have the Movie Spreadsheet score for a 3.25. It's going to get no bonus points. So final score 2.7625 because of the freshness factor. And again, if somebody's like, that's not fair, you shouldn't have freshness factor, make that argument. You're the only person in the chat if you make that argument in the comments. So yeah, I'm probably gonna go with what you say. Watch this guy's 98 old. Full scores 2.5. Full scores for Battle of a Small Player. And that leaves us with Netflix in the lead, I think, to pick up 25. So if Netflix picked up 25, they'd be sitting really, really pretty on 40 points. And I think 30 points is going to be a really good mark for a lot of these movies, especially with the top one scoring so poorly. So that is where I'm gonna that's what I'm gonna have for you. I'm gonna kick this cold so I can talk longer next week. Get some lozenges. Quick reminder of where we are again. This is the Movie Spreadsheet. Thank you for checking it out. You can see shorts posted multiple times a week. Friday is my what to watch this weekend, and what I'm gonna try to do is get all 6 movies watched by Friday, so I can tell you where you should be spending your time and what movies that you should be watching. And I'm going to have some big ones in there as well. So F1's going to be in there. I picked up the Blu-ray, so we're going to watch that. So thanks for checking out this live stream of the movie spreadsheet. I'm sorry I have a cough. Sorry I have to cut this one short. But there's going to be a lot to discuss next week.